6:30, we'll call the meeting to order for town council. The roll call will reflect that all council members are present in the town report. The agenda before you. And the adoption.
Mr. Mayor, I have any issue with the average. And yes, you're, and also, some more guide. Can you speak up, please? Everybody. That's the closed session. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I those since those are two important things.
They're on.
So we're going to add one thing to the agenda. It's Mr. Snyder.
That's on my to-do list, on the report for the manager.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
I just want to double.
Yep, I appreciate that. Thank you. There's no further comments on the agenda.
Move to adopt the agenda.
I have a motion to adopt the agenda. And a second by Olivia and Dr. Kovit.
Yes.
Olivia?
Yes.
Ron? Benita? Yeah. Yes. Thank you. And let's do it here, David. And to public comments. Opening up the public comments, each speaker will have 3 minutes. I don't see a list. Is
I
it?
have the list. Mr. Kuby.
Please call.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, staff, and audience. My name is Ed Kuby. I live at 90 Mineral Avenue. What I wanted to talk with you about tonight is that I heard through the grapevine in the last 7 to 10 days that there's a special election that's to be held in the town of Mineral for council seats. And my question about it is, how is this publicly advertised? I didn't see it in the paper. I haven't seen anything spread out about it. I haven't seen it on the doors or the public information outside. I attended the May, June, and July meetings. I didn't hear any votes to ask for election. So June 18th was the filing deadline for anybody that wanted to run for the November 5th general election. And there was one candidate who applied for it. That was Dave Hempstead, who had been appointed to fill one of the former council members that had resigned seat. And apparently he got to the registrar's office and signed up by June the 18th. So seemed like he was the only one running. But a week or 10 days ago, I heard that there were 3 people running. So I called the registrar to ask, Chrissy Watkins, and she said it had been requested by the town and that the judge had approved it. Didn't have to, it's not by law, but as long as it's 90 days ahead of election, he can call for a special election. So he approved it. But what bothers me is that he made, and he would have to, extension to the filing deadline. And that was made, I believe, could be slightly off from it, but I believe I was told it was August the 16th. But apparently it wasn't advertised. Did council, you met that week before it and didn't say anything about it that I heard. So if the public didn't know about it, that to me is 332 registered voters in the town of Mineral, minus the 6 council members and the mayor who were disenfranchised and not allowed a chance to be considered for the office. 323. They all should have known about it and had the chance to sign up for it. However, 2 people did. They were respectfully, I'm not, making any comments and all, but the 2 people that did sign up were the 2 council members that had resigned, which is Blair Nipper and Becky McGee. So both of them found out about it. So I question, where did this news come from? And I would suggest that y'all put it on your agenda and discuss it and have an investigation done. Contact the Commonwealth Attorney, have him ask the questions and find out how this was requested, who requested it, and why the information was not publicized to let everybody know so they could sign up for it. Somebody had to withheld information, it seems like. So let the Commonwealth attorney, because that's who looks into complaints like that. I suggest you all discuss it and act upon it to clear the air. Thank you.
Ms. Moon?
Hi, I'm Debbie Moon. I own 232 Mineral Ave. I met with Mr. Chapman and Ms. Washington in regards to my building next door and some of the code changes. And just a reminder, left off of the general commercial were banks, office buildings, and retail. So I hope you discuss that tonight and add it back in. Secondly, in regards to Ms. McCarthy's resignation, Virginia Code Title 24.2-226A, resignation shall not be revocable. Furthermore, Bluefield Daily Telegraph, March 10th, 2021. The mayor actually resigned and had second thoughts and wanted to rescind his resignation. And it's quoted that the code states that when a letter of resignation is submitted, it cannot be rescinded. It is effective immediately. So I wanted to bring both of those to your attention. I don't believe that Ms. McCarthy should be sitting on the council this evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. McGee?
I did nothing wrong to sign up to run, so we'll get that straight right away. No, I had someone call the registrar's office and they said it was still open. That's when I went up, and I didn't intend to say that tonight. Oh, I'm Rebecca McGee. All right. I got a few things to talk about. Mr. Hempstead, in the post office, and I will say that maybe I started it. All I said to him is tell his wife to keep my name off her papers and keep my name out of her mouth. He started yelling at me that, he started yelling at me and told me that I did not care for this town like his wife did. And how dare he even say that? But Jesse from the post office came out and spoke and said, cut it down. I went back in the next day and I talked to Jesse and I apologize. I said, I may have started it, but he's the one that was yelling and screaming. And you know you did, so Jesse did. Who cares? You know you did. Glad to see you don't have your hats on tonight. All right. I saw this, and we may be a part of it. I'm not sure. Virginia Main Street, are we a member of Virginia Main Street? Louisa Town is. It is a betterment for, it's a program about preserving that Louisa does this, and they're on there like first or second, it goes in phases. And that might be something that we need to look into and maybe you can get grants and all from them. I thought, when I saw the article, I said, hey, and Mitchell was the one that wrote the article. So I said, hey, this might be something good for us because our Main Street looks awful. We need to get lamp posts up. It's a whole lot of things that we can do instead of sitting on our butts and doing nothing. And that's what's been happening for years. And I blame all of us for that. So I got the information if you would like it.
We are a part of it. I have not been able to meet with her yet.
We are a member of it.
Yep.
So why aren't we doing anything?
Good.
You know, why aren't they doing it? All right, my last thing is I listened to the last meeting y'all had. And in there, Ron talked about,
You got 40 seconds.
all right, in there, Ron talked about the Christmas tree lighting, and that last year was 135 people there. Ron, where did you get 135 people? Huh?
Came to my house, not out here.
135 people came to your house. I say you're full of it. Anyway, only, I talked to a member of the choir. They had 8 people, and then he said maybe 20 extra. That was it for the thing. 135 people came to your life.
Anybody else?
That's all I have.
Anybody else who didn't sign the piece of paper want to speak? Public comments closed. Approval of the minutes. Looks like there's 2 things from May 13th and June 10th.
There's a correction on May 15th on page 7. It's just the brother, there's names. I didn't bring the paper.
I wrote some down. So, autocorrect got the better of me with Mr. Hempstead's name. I'm sorry, I've corrected those in here. On page 5, it's not Tori Newton, it is Teresa Newton. On page 11, where it says Howard C. 709 Piedmont Road, it's actually Piedmont Street. And that is also on page 14 when his wife, I believe it's his wife, Shirley spoke. And also on page 14, it's not Ray Payne, it's Roy Payne. Page 15, where Mr. C speaks again, 709 Piedmont Street is what it should be. And right below that, I have it over here somewhere. It's not Mr. Whitlock who spoke. It was Mr. Payne, and Ms. Cooley caught that. So, and I believe besides the changes to Mr. Hempstead's name throughout, those were the only edits I got.
On page 7 in the second paragraph, McGee is spelled wrong.
Okay.
Sorry, I let this get in.
Are there any other changes?
Just capitalize the G.
Oh, the G, okay.
That's all.
Anything else for
No.
no?
Motion to approve the main minutes as careful.
I have a motion to approve the May minutes with changes. I have a second from Ms. Cubie. Bob?
Yes.
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 Okay, thank you. Now, if you have turned your attention to June, and if you've already been given, you can start by what the sections.
Sorry, I went through it all.
That we approved the June minutes. We already went through. We did them all. Okay. So, yeah. Brad, second.
Okay, got a motion by Dr. Kovitz, seconded by Bernice. Yes. David?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All of the accounts have been, all the bills have been paid. Town manager, I will give her a report.
Yes. So I'd like to introduce our new town clerk. This is our first official regular meeting for town council. Stephanie Dorman is our town clerk. She comes from UVA. She worked in the legal office there as a FOIA officer. She's handled clerk and secretarial duties. She will handle clerk and secretarial duties for council and planning commission. She is the point person for our records management. She's already proven herself in the role, and we're very glad to have her on the team.
Thank you.
We've had two inquiries on buildable parcels for residential lots in the town. There's more that's happening. Apparently, there are lots that already have been approved that are just now how they're built or are being built. So we have more residential going up, and hopefully businesses will follow, but there's not a lot of space for business right now. Let's see. In October, I will have an update on percentage of water loss. With our new system, we're able to collect the data and populate a spreadsheet, but we had some trouble in September with the bills. So when we did the readings, some of the readings came in incorrectly. We were able to fix those manually. The bills were out late. I'm sure everyone noticed that they got them late. And we're not charging for that. Was a processing issue, so we won't charge a fee. But in October, we should show our percentage of loss go down even more. We have located a few leaks. We've also in the park where we had turned the water off. We were trying to get the valve to come on for the pavilion area to open it back up, and the valve broke because they're old and they have not been cared for. So we were able to create a roundabout to get from the 6-inch back to the 6-inch and meter that water that's going into there. And we were able to lower the pipe to a 1-inch pipe. So there's 1-inch pipe going into the park that still has water, but now it's metered and we're able to see what's happening there, and also turning the water off when there's no events. So that was fixed. There's a leak at the abandoned house at 623 Mineral. We are not able to locate the leak. We know there is one. We've had the guys from the Virginia Rural Water out there and they could hear it. We have not been able to locate the meter. So we're in the process of doing that. There's lots of poison ivy, poison oak. Some clearing has been done, but not in the front. What else? The guys from Virginia Rural Water are still walking the roads and streets to check the meters, to listen for leaks. So they're on the west side now doing that. And we'll get a report back from them. But they were glad to hear that we are repairing the leaks, fixing the things that they're finding, that we're on top of that. So that just helps us put the money back in our pocket instead of letting it go down the drain and go down the drain. Let's see. The town had agreed to install some water at the pump station on St. Francis so that they could have, when they cleaned their filters or whatever they had to do down there, they needed water. So that was done for them. On Piedmont Avenue, VDOT is fixing the issue. We got a remark ticket to go remark the pipe. That's where all the erosion was happening at the culvert. So they're going to fix that. They're just going to reline it and then fill it back in, have gravel. So that should be done hopefully in the next couple months. They didn't give us a timeline, but we got a remark. So hopefully they're going to do it soon. I did hear back from our auditors. Again, they're in the process of doing the audit for 2023. We need to get them to do, they're doing the 2022. We need to get them to do the 23 and 20 audits. They do not have any contract signed to do that. So I have requested that they give us a quote of some sort so that we can get these done. Mr. Snyder is very interested in being on the planning commission. And would like to see if council would want to appoint him in that seat.
So. Second.
Okay.
Any opposition to that? Okay,
Okay, we'll take care of his email address and communicate with him accordingly.
thank you, Mr. Smith.
We had the Labor Day parade on August 30th. There was a nice turnout. I wish there was more. I feel like as the town, maybe we need to advertise more. So I'm going to look into seeing what else that we can do to help bring more individuals to these events. There's another parade, the hometown parade, which brings a big crowd, is October 24th. I think it's at 6:30. They are, if you are interested, I have the contact information. If you are interested in being in the parade, let me know. Also, more events around town. Constitution Day is September 18th. We have children from the elementary school coming down to chalk the sidewalks and put flags around the buildings. It's a big school event. Our supervisor for Mineral District is coming, as well as there was someone else that was going to be here. Sorry, I didn't have that located. So that's a big thing I think for us in the town office. We are going to have little snacks for the kids and stickers to give them with the town seal on it.
Yeah, I know last year, I actually spoke to a couple of grades that have two different, so they were.
Yep, that's their asynchronous day. So this is their way to do their volunteer work. And I have a zoning report. So I've been communicating back and forth with the engineers for Miller's Markets gas pumps. And back on April 15th, I had requested that they have their traffic impact analysis study done because VDOT, once they got the engineered site plans to review, had said that there probably would need to be a traffic impact analysis is something that they would want to do because of the entrances into the parking lot and deliveries, tanker trucks, et cetera. I then got a call from an engineer that did the trip analysis for the gas pumps because he stated that VDOT, because this was a low impact area, that VDOT didn't require a traffic impact analysis. Since April 15th, I've gotten and received engineered site plans for them. I sent them to VDOT. It took a little while. Aaron's been out, Heather left, so Alice is there, and she's the only one that's been there for about 2 months now. So they're slammed because they get everybody. They get Orange, Louisa, the towns, everybody. I did hear back from Alice, and they do need a traffic impact analysis because of the entrances, because of the tanker trucks, because of the delivery truck. And they want to make sure that it can be sustainable for the entrance and the town. So I have forwarded this information to Mr. Singh to let him know. So I will wait to see what happens, but I wanted to give you all that update. I have asked and wanted to see if you guys, the council, would be entertain a joint public hearing with the planning commission because there are two things that we need to fix on the general commercial district. As Ms. Moon pointed out, the retail section got left out of that portion of the general commercial. I will take full blame for that. It was the district wording was saying that it was the same as like commercial. We forgot to take retail and put it down into general. So we just need to do that. As well as I think we should, even though I don't think it's necessary because it can be added with the wording that's already there, but we should add a community center and make sure that's pinpointed out in that district, as noted in the meeting that we had with Ms. Moon. even though there is a section that talks about having other amusement or entertainment for the town, community centers are places where people can come and have events. So that's, to me, is amusement and entertainment. So that's done. The light bulbs are out at the flags, so we are looking to replace those. We checked the breaker box, we checked everything. They're just not working. I think that's it for me.
Jim McCombs,
Yeah.
one of the employees at Millmark, heard AJ saying, we're getting ready to break ground. We're breaking ground this fall. So just wanted to send you a little warning.
He
He has not said that. I talk to him all the time.
And
I don't care.
doesn't have an approval for building zoning, so
like, once the site plan, anything. So doesn't it actually come back to the council to vote on whether or not they approve?
this one didn't work that way. And the reason why is because of how it was presented. This was before I was here. I was on planning commission. It was approved through a planning commission, recommended for approval through planning commission. It went to council. They recommended the conditional use permit. What was missing was he got approved. Normally it goes hand in hand, your zoning, but he got approved for the use and we needed an engineered site plan for the building part of it. And so I went back to review the site plan and get an engineered site plan, stamped engineered, because we did not have that. And that's what we've been working on. And so it's the same plan that was there, that was drawn up. It's just now it's engineered and stamped. And we then send it to VDOT to get their recommendations.
Has CSX reviewed it?
Not to my knowledge, no. Well, the engineer, it was telling me that they have all of the stipulations for the railroads and they go by what their whatever the railroad specific specifications are. I can reach out to them, but no, they have not. I did call, I got no answer.
And it's interesting, CSX doesn't own the rail.
Buckingham branch. Oh, well, it says Buckingham branch. I don't know if that's the state. The state, okay.
Obviously, sure, it's still.
Yeah, I can make a note.
I want to back up to the lights out in front of the flags. This is like the third time that we've had an issue with those lights. Do you want to investigate an alternate lighting source for those?
Which flags?
These.
The ones right in front of
So they're
the
just not.
They're in the ground, and what they told us last time, groundwater keeps going in and flooding. It makes sense. So it's shorting them. So not how did you want to see about just a completely different way to light them?
Ask Main Street if we can get an opinion too.
We can, I can ask Sparks Electric or whoever does the electric to see if they can come up with something, but the guy from Spark said, I think last time that it was the bulbs are blown, but the light bulbs themselves are encased in a metal compartment. So I don't know if it's that the wire isn't in conduit. So that's the problem, but the bulbs themselves shouldn't be able to get water into them because they're encased all the way around. So I have no idea, but we can definitely have someone else look at it. Mike's having trouble ordering the bulbs anyway because they're specialty and he can't find them. So we can get it.
At some point, we'll have to.
And it's
And then the others, what's left is like tripled in place.
makes sense.
Similarly, that one, proximity to the road, where you can light it just from the ground up. You can't do any glare on
Right.
the roadway.
Yeah.
Were you going to talk about the IRS thing or?
Oh, well, I brought up at the other meeting. I guess I should. This is a regular meeting. So we received an email in April that I was not aware of, April 29th, regarding a payroll taxes, that were not, received on time. All the deposits were made, but the filings weren't received on time. A couple of quarters were not, received at all. So, Kelly went back and reconciled all of the deposits and all of the filings to make sure that we had everything. She spoke with the IRS regarding all of these. We have received and filed 2 quarters, and now she filed and we've paid for those. So those are taken care of. She's now filed 2 more quarters for some reason that were missed, 22 and 20. And so she's filed those, and we're waiting to hear back from the IRS so that we know how much that is to pay. And then we'll be squared away. All of our deposits have been made. It's just the filing of the paperwork. And then what we're paying is penalties and interest, not the actual payroll tax.
Anybody have any questions for the town manager?
That's like a lot.
It's had several people in the office last week and this week, questioning about building and everything.
I'll have my written report in your packet. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Does anybody have any questions?
I just had a question. It doesn't seem like we have council here this time. I don't know where it usually is, but
I don't think it is.
it's not on here. It's fine.
Oh,
Council comments. He added that to the agenda, but just kind of is on here and I don't know where it usually is, but
But that's part of the problem with this template that we continue to update and stuff. We usually put it in
at the end.
I think Ms. Moon brought up a very serious thing. I think we should just verify whatever, what it is that she brought up and, I don't know if it puts this meeting in jeopardy if we continue. I don't know. It's just something we need to stop and just cut out. Is it something we need to not deal with and put off? And, it's kind of like, what do you suggest? We should take some time and talk with you? I mean,
So if we're going to ask for the town attorney's opinion, then let us do that. If we're going into executive session, we can ask for her opinion on 2 items. One, Mr. Town brought up, and then also Mr. Kiwi's comment.
okay.
Is that said?
So we just,
Is that said?
we just need to say it before we go in. So I don't think that.
No, but I guess we have to get a legal opinion on that, so.
Yeah, we just have to say it before we go in, because if we discuss it, then it's outside the.
Yes.
Thank you.
If nobody has any comments to the attorney, then we'll go to committee reports, utilities.
Well, our utilities are very well covered by our variable, this is here. I do want to say that, the Thomas Jefferson, they put it out for a bid, and I didn't really feel the need to participate in a whole lot of it because they know what they're doing and they did well and they picked somebody and they're on a roll and they're rolling and they're doing a good job. So
The contract's been awarded.
contract has been awarded. They only have 3 weeks to, basically, because they got to upload it and they can't wait till the end because everybody's going to wait till the end.
Yeah,
It's going to be so crowded. And the person who was helping us left. She went to DEQ,
Yeah.
so we don't even know.
He knows the person.
He does know
So
the
it's
person.
Bowman is who it got awarded to. Bob is our contact. And he knows the person that's taking Kamara's place.
Yeah.
And, so I'm meeting with him tomorrow, conference. He's at a conference this week, the water conference, the big one. And so he'll call me.
Hopefully, that-
We will, but yeah, it was a hard deadline, but if you are working on it and you will be, given time.
Thank you. Are there any other committee reports?
So personnel, I can have a copy of proposed bylaws, rules of procedure to be discussed.
He was on personnel. Oh, I didn't know you were.
To be discussed at the October meeting. This is just for reference. Again, to be discussed at the October meeting.
These are standing rules of procedure for.
I have,
And then we have some copies for.
Yeah.
But again, this gives us an entire month. It's been over all the council and discussed at the October meeting.
October.
And they're basically moving the counties. About this.
oh, where's my?
Here, I put it at their desk, and I had two people, Mr. Hempstead and Mr. Washington, he's a Class A contractor, take a look at the building, and both of them said worth everything. And next, at some point in the next week, Mr. Hempstead got a roof that's going up there. So they have said that it's worth saving. And it will cost a lot to take it down if you were going to take it down, so. I wanted to go ahead and get since it's worth saving, I would like to go ahead and get some sort of door on the end of that building. Okay.
You mean to actually do it, your company?
No, he has someone to get the power.
You take materials that are already in the building and install outdoor treatment.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I don't know that we should physically be doing it, the council.
No, I think you have a contract.
He said he has a contract with that would get
Okay.
to the town manager. Who will then,
There is a door down there, if it fits, we could just put that on me, but they have to try it out to see if it.
I haven't even been in the building. Is there something we can do? I mean, I know everybody else has been in it.
Just other than that.
yeah.
You can get the car out, babe.
It's garage door there, they can drive it right out.
Oh, really?
Well, it's not in the drive, it's just the shell of the car, it's an old.
It's
They have any value? Should we?
Well, no, he asked it, but we should just leave it here until he can remove it.
Oh, okay.
Value in price of the whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know if it was something that they had donated, that, we could do something that's.
Fundamental to him.
Oh, that's fine. I just didn't know if they came to the building and we could do something to ship into the building with it,
I had asked, Jill had asked some questions of me and I answered them, and she had said that she would like for the answers to be given to everybody. That's what that.
So when we go to under new business, the minimum farmers market can discuss.
Well, you answered all the questions, but we can actually take that off.
I don't think we can. We can just, when we get to, just say does anybody have any questions? Because we already addressed them.
Yeah, okay. If no one else has any reports, we'll go to the old business, the town holiday.
Okay. So, we were talking about this. The town would have to buy the plywood to give the businesses. If we still want to do it, it's fine. Or we could get them to decorate their storefronts and their outdoor space and do business and residential and do 2 separate contests and have plaques to put the winners up in the lobby. And give trophies, something small to the winners. The plywood is gonna run gonna run us a couple $1,000s. It's expensive.
It's just a little fate to start.
It would you know, it's, if you guys want to do it, that's fine. I can poll the businesses to see if they're interested in doing that, or we could, create a flyer and have them do their storefront decorations as, you know, as holiday as they want to. Do a contest and have like a sheet, for people to vote on and have them turn it in, or however we want to do it. But we could do something like that. And with that, I was thinking also in the same line, we're getting the tree for over the normal spot. I contacted the guy, the farm. And I wanted to know if you guys would be interested in putting a tree right out here in kind of like the parking lot, but not the parking lot, but like the parking lot. A bigger tree, and that would be like our gathering place. We could have hot chocolate. We could do some stuff at our tree lighting. I know that we do it over there. We could still do the tree over there. We could still have a tree. We can do the nativity scene. But I feel like this would allow for a bigger gathering spot. It would allow for maybe a bigger participation, and for individuals to be able to walk the street to look at the Christmas.
We didn't own the parking lot when we started putting it over there, so that's why it's over there, because it was next to the town office, because that was town office, and it just never got over to this town office. And I think it does kind of belong on Main Street.
Well, my other issue that Emma was talking, that's a busy intersection, and we're trying to have a crowd, and cars are, and you have people trying to sing, and the noise, and just.
Fire department.
It's out of business, it's not on town property, and that's where the nativity thing goes.
Right.
Not on town property.
Right. So can we leave the nativity there and just bring the tree over?
We could do that.
And then the nativity scene would be separate from the town
and
holiday tree. It won't be a Christmas tree, it's a
Right.
holiday tree. But
So we leave the nativity scene there, make sure it's lit up so that people can see it. And then we can bring the tree here. And with that, do you want to get a bigger tree? Because this is a 10-foot tree because we wanted to keep it. So that's, you know, it's whatever you.
Yeah, it needs to be bigger if it's gonna be.
Yeah. So I think bigger.
So I guess then, just for clarity, council is in agreement to purchase a bigger tree for the property between here and the parking lot. And if we're going to do that, then we'll have some refreshments, which council will need to okay from the town manager. And then town manager needs some direction as to whether you want to go with businesses decorating for the holiday, or do you want to go with us purchasing the plywood for them to make a postcard? And
I think it's a beautiful idea. I just think we should have given them more notice. They knew that in June they could be planning, but I think it's a little late because, you know, if it's rushed out, why don't we plan it for next year? And just let them decorate, you know, this year, because I don't know that I could even I have a hard time just getting that.
Well, do we want to encourage them to decorate and then have, like she said, a trophy and a flag?
Yeah.
yeah.
I think the trophy should go year to year to the different place,
Yeah.
but I think the plaque should be here with their name.
Tim, your thoughts?
Like the nativity scene can be separated from the tree.
That's what they've always said.
It's a church and state
Yeah.
thing. The nativity is not on town property.
Yeah, that's why it's always been there.
Okay.
Also, we put the snowflakes on the poles every year. We're in the process of ordering the brackets to do that. Is there any objection of us getting like a white garland to wrap the poles to make it a little more festive? Since we don't have streetlights yet. We don't have the nice, pretty poles. Is there objection to that? Is there, one more thing, is there, any objection to, when we have events to have banners, that across the street that hang on the poles so that we can bring, be more visible to what's happening?
Okay, with that.
Okay.
Can we get one set up that's like a pulley system that you can just pull it out and pull it back so that you're not having to have a crew out there set, you know what I'm talking about? You
Yeah.
just roll it out and roll it back.
Yeah, I think Hank can figure something out.
There's gotta be something like that, that you don't have to have a crew every time in a bucket truck, because that seems like a good idea.
We told this council need to budget a certain amount of anything else.
Comes out of beautification. So for next budget, I think we'll kind of make sure we're bringing that all together. And applying, so, but it should, and, if not, I'll ask for appropriation if it's too expensive.
Do you want to put a budget for the refreshments and things of that nature, what we have?
So I was thinking of just getting some quotes for like, there's a hot chocolate. I was gonna ask the donut guy if he wanted to do donuts and ask DK's. I don't know if DK's has like a traveling coffee hot chocolate thing, but I didn't know if they would want to do something like that. The donut guy is in Louisa, but DK's is in Mineral. And Mad Batter's right here, so I don't know if they would be interested. So I was gonna reach out and just kind of see what quotes they could do. When I've done this before, we've had kind of like a limit and we price out like how many people we would pay for. And usually we don't go over that, but they give us a set price and then they say for every one after that, it's X dollars. So.
Or you could say the first 325.
Not gonna have 325. But I would think ask the people from the town first.
Yeah, okay, Mad Batter and DK's, I wanted them to do it, but I don't know. They could probably set up something in the parking lot. I know that DK's could use like insulated coffee things for hot chocolate or hot water and okay, all right.
And when will we be reaching out to businesses to see if they want to participate?
So now,
Okay.
once I knew what we were doing. So now we'll create a flyer and just see if we can get them to participate.
I had coordinated a flotilla for the company for the lake. And I had reached out to DK, reach out with them, but maybe because it's been about a year ago, but I don't think he had anything to transport coffee, but maybe if you give him time, he could come up with something before then. And I reached out to both him and the people in Louisa, the coffee place in Louisa. They didn't have anything either. I ended up having to go to Donut.
So Bethel Brews has their coffee trailer.
They do now, but they didn't.
They didn't then. So they may be able to do it, but I was gonna ask DK's first.
Yeah, ask them first.
The holiday. Okay. Going to new business. These 4 items were taken off last month because Michelle was under the weather. They were put on for this month and
The first one we answered, the next 3 are really, do we have an economic development committee?
we do not.
Okay, but we're gonna get one in November?
So as soon as,
Is anybody gonna work on it?
as soon as we find out who our new folks are, we're going to readdress all the committees.
Okay, then there's no point talking about that now. That's all right.
One of the other things,
Are we next from the county's economic development team coming in to help us? I think we're up next.
yeah, and Tracy from Chamber of Commerce is supposed to be helping us find out. So I'll get with her and reach out.
Okay, good, because that's something we really need.
Yeah.
Okay. And then an annual festival in the park thing, it's just an idea, something that we should, as a town, come up with a theme and just have, be known for something, whether it's bicycles or I don't know what, pens or,
Welcome to take.
Well, no, but if we could just as a town, come up with something and just have an annual festival, I don't know what. Chili cook-off or put on a stick or just something that our town does. We don't have one thing, like a fried chicken or whatever. Each town, Gordonsville has fried chicken or, and I don't think the town's interested, but let's just see. It's just a suggestion.
I was gonna say, world renowned
For the Blue Rat.
for coast to coast for the Bluegrass Festival and
And it was a sleepover thing, but maybe we could do it in a different way.
yeah. I think that's not because of COVID.
No, it's not for now.
But you know what we used to do that wasn't it? We used to go in the evenings, Fridays in the park.
Right, Friday in the Park was wonderful, and we lost that. We tried to
You can do it can you do it in Whitlock Family Park?
Well, nice little stage on top of that building.
Yeah.
So you could have like music. And
Tony had told me that that big door actually slides open.
it does.
Wouldn't that be
It
amazing?
used to.
Yeah, well, yeah. And then.
It's still open. I've seen it open. So that, yeah, I have. And somebody went for I think Erin come to the farmer's market. And Becky had told me that she had said that she was willing to touch up the mural.
Well, that was amazing. No, there's just a lot of things like that we could do. We did have that first Friday and then that went away. And that's something that we'd like to, I would like for us to consider.
There's a plan for the spring, Fridays in the park.
Yeah, it would be amazing. And then getting people there and, that's right. And everybody can drive there. Golf cart. I think we need to be a golf cart. I think we need to, all we have to do as a council is approve it. And then once we do, it becomes, okay, we just have to decide on whatever the rules are for it. But I think it really does incentivize people to show up. We've got this, their seed, their family, whatever. And, so it's something that we should consider.
Yeah, that's, you should just have people bring their own chairs.
Yes, your chairs, whatever you want,
Like the first impression when I first moved out here, I went to Gordonsville and we were walking down, I guess, Main Street in Gordonsville. And right outside their town hall, this woman was getting it and her light in the middle of the street dancing. And I'm like, what in the world is going on? They had a live band and there were tons of people out there. It was awesome. I would love to see that here.
It would be great. And if, some of our restaurants could bring some food down, or they don't, I don't know. We don't trying to take advantage of things very well. We could help it.
Well, we could even sponsor signage to go up for the businesses in town so that we're advertising and helping to push them.
And the last thing I have is, planning ribbon cutting, one thing I think we miss out on is ribbon cutting thing. Like basically Democrat, Republican, extraterrestrials. If you want to come cut ribbons and we're going to make relationships with you, if you control some money, you can come cut some ribbons here. We'll do whatever we can to get, we don't have good relationships with people who control money, at the state level, at the federal level, Senator Kane probably doesn't know us from Adam, and because they're never invited here for anything. John McCain is not, none of them are invited. We should be, come on, we're opening our farmers market. Somebody come cut the ribbon. Let's start getting people here so that when they're doling out money, they remember us and they had a good time here. Let's invite them to do something and make a relationship with them. We got these young people or people that are young in the career, just moving up, let's do something with them, whoever they are, whatever side they're on, it doesn't matter. Let's, make relationships with them and so that they remember us when they're doling out money from the state and the federal level, because they do it to other state towns and they do it to other places. They're giving out money. We might as well make one of them, some of it. Because, it's not a strength of ours, but, maybe we could get a little slice of it. We just invite them. Anyway, that's it.
Okay, we're going to. Do you have?
I do. I just need to ask, since now we're gonna talk about the revenue. Do you want to do A1 too, or do you just want to do all?
You want to do A1,
Then the revenue.
is it, no, it's,
All right, let's take a 5-minute break.
performance.
Facilities or the team up. Come back at 7:30.
Yes, they said employee.
I don't know.
And
Is required.
Coming back from a break. We're getting ready to go inspection. So town clerk will read the language, please.
In accordance with section 2.2-3711A1 of the Code of Virginia, I move that the town council convene in closed meetings to consider a personnel matter involving the performance of a contract employee. In accordance with section 2.2-3711A8, I move that town council convene in closed meetings to consult with legal counsel on a specific legal matter regarding potential litigation, special election, and resignation, requiring the provision of legal advice by counsel.
And what else for discussing?
Which, okay, that was it.
Yeah, she did.
Okay, I didn't know. I didn't know that.
Motion from Ron, I need a second.
Before we go to motion, can I add statement concerns going into a private meeting? And this is coming from Virginia Freedom of Information Advisory Council.
Okay.
What does a public body have to do to close a meeting? That's after you go into a closed meeting, identifies the subject matter of the closed meeting, states the purpose of the closed meeting, and makes specific reference to the applicable exemption from the open meeting requirements. Motion must be set forth in detail in the minutes of the open meeting. A general reference to the provisions of FOIA, the authorized exemptions from open meeting requirements, or the subject matter of the closed meeting is not sufficient to satisfy the requirements for holding a closed meeting. What may be discussed during a closed meeting? A public body holding a closed meeting must restrict its discussions during the closed meeting to those matters specifically exempted from the provisions of FOIA and identified in the motion. You have to identify the specific agenda item. At the end of the closed meeting, what does the public body have to do? At the conclusion of the closed meeting, the public body holding the meeting must immediately reconvene in an open meeting and take a roll call or other recorded vote, certifying that to the best of each member's knowledge, 1, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements under this chapter, and 2, only such public business matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed meeting was reconvened, was heard, discussed, or considered in the meeting in the public body. Any member of the public body who believes that there was a departure from the requirements of 1 and 2 must state so prior to the vote and indicate the substance of the departure that in his judgment or his or her judgment has taken place. This statement must also be recorded in the minutes in the open meeting. Pretty much it. The Virginia Freedom of Information Advisory Council has a significant list of items that are that you can use to identify what your discussion was about.
So the town clerk reread in accordance with and state
Just the reasons.
the reasons and the
So the reason is to perform or the performance of a contract employee, potential litigation, special election and resignations. That's the reason.
A1 and
And AA.
AA of the
Yeah.
Virginia Code.
And to clarify that under aid, it is for consultation with legal counsel
Yeah.
regarding those three things.
Okay. And I have a motion by Ron. And Olivia seconded. Dr. Tobin,
Yes.
Olivia, Ron,
Yes.
Bernice.
Yes.
Susan, and, okay, let's take the net while we clear out. Okay, executive session is now back in to the public. You can please state that, please.
I move that council certify that in closed session just concluded, nothing was discussed except the matters specifically identified in the motion to convene in closed session and lawfully permitted to be discussed under the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act cited in that motion.
Yes, no?
Yes.
Bernice, Ron, and Dr. Coler. Okay, are there any other motions that need to come up before council?
So I motion that authorize the town manager to submit the paperwork for signing to, I'm gonna mess up the name,
McCavanagh.
him, as council has requested.
Okay, so there's a motion by Mr. Plattman that based on the briefing that the town manager did with the developer based on the mitigation plans that formally be written up. And I need a second on that.
Second.
I have a second from Dr. Covet, and now I will.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
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 Okay, have the vote reflected 5-1. Is there any other motions?
Before we make another motion, I would also, I think that once that letter has been signed, I think we need to put something together for the public to be posted to the town website that explains what is happening and why. In respect to that development.
Okay,
Or maybe we could put it out publicly in the paper, give it to the CD about why we're doing what we're doing.
good. So no,
Oh, no, they have to vote to return.
is there anything else?
I have one
Yes.
thing. So I just want to clarify and make sure that we have the right information. So the planning commission is meeting is September 26th, and we are wanting to see if council would like to have a joint public hearing to do the small amendments to the general commercial zoning district. We will do that public hearing at the beginning of the meeting so that council can leave.
Is council,
Is everyone, I don't know how we need to vote for that, agree?
Are there more changes that we can incorporate into that? Because I know we have to pay to advertise each one. And will we have other changes, or is it just gonna be that?
No, it's just that one we're at. It's the only one that we can change.
Okay. I didn't know if we were changing other codes and we could lump them.
We are later, but this one is.
well, no, well, you do.
You did so much better, John.
I motion that we go to joint public hearing with the plan on the 26th at 6:30.
I'll second that. I don't know that I could.
Okay,
Second.
Bob?
Okay.
Olivia?
Yeah.
Louise? Yeah. Olivia? And Dr. Cole?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else? If not,
terminate the attorney's contract. See to council
Is there a termination date on that?
today, effective today.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Hampstead to terminate the existing contract with the town attorney. I need a second. I have a second. Rob? Yeah. David? Bernice? Connect. No?
This is hard. I just, I have, no, I'm just gonna say no.
No.
And going to. And then we'll talk about.
That's a tie, so that leaves it
To you.
on the attorney somehow. Well, based on what each one of you have passed along and stuff like that, and based on what the attorney has said, I'm going to yield to, even though it's a tie, to thank the attorney for her work and stuff like that. And with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn. What was the? Yes, I done the terminator. Yeah.
I think then we need to have another motion to authorize the town manager to put this in the advertisement and search for a new town.
Okay, well,
Yes.
Bernice, yes.
Yes.
Okay. And with that, a motion to adjourn.
Donate.
Okay.
Second.
Yeah, and